Hi everyone, it's Dawn. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new to my channel, I'm Dawn and I'm a 53-year-old woman here in the mature beauty community. And I wanted to do a quick, super easy to follow, affordable drugstore makeup look today, and I'm doing all L'Oreal. And I just grabbed a plethora of products that I've been really wanting to try, mainly the new True Match Nude foundation. It's new-ish. It's been around for about 6 to 9 months, and it was viral, I think on TikTok or something like that, and I could never find my shade. Well, I was able to find my shade recently when I was doing my grocery shopping, so I picked up this, and it's a beautiful foundation. I'm just going to tell you that right out of the gate. And I picked up the concealer that's like an eye cream and a concealer in one. It's really hydrating. And I have a palette from L'Oreal that I absolutely love. It's such an easy palette to work with. The quality is like Lancome. To me, they're not dusty. It's a matte and a shimmer palette in one, and I'll show it to you better when we use it. And it does have diagrams with step-by-step directions on the back, so super easy to use, user-friendly for beginners. You can create so many beautiful looks with this palette. It claims to be a neutral palette, but it actually has a lot of really mauve-y tones, which I like. But there are plenty of neutral shades as well. And then I'm going to use the Voluminous Mascara in Burgundy. I've got the primer, and I'm trying out a new bronzer from L'Oreal. I'm trying Old Faithful blush, True Match blush, powder, and a balm, because who wants to have heavy lipstick on their lips these super hot summer days? Not me. So I'm just going to use a balm today, and I'm going to create this really super easy summertime makeup look, and I hope you enjoy it. I finally have been able to get my hands on the True Match Nude foundation from L'Oreal. I actually wasn't planning on doing this video today, but I thought, why not? I'm getting ready anyway. So I applied my sunblock, and I used the matte screen SPF 40 from Supergoop, and I used the matte one because I am using a serum, more radiant foundation. I have never used this before. Today is the first time. I finally got my hands on it. It went viral on TikTok about 6 or 9 months ago. It comes in a glass bottle with a pipette, and my shade is Rose Ivory. I have a damp beauty sponge, and this is what it looks like. It's quite runny. It's a little bit watery, and yeah, I'm applying it. I was at the grocery store yesterday, and I picked up a few new things, mainly L'Oreal. I did have a request to do a L'Oreal Get Ready With Me, or actually an all drugstore Get Ready With Me, and I haven't done a L'Oreal in a while, and somebody else had asked me if I'd reviewed this foundation before, and I hadn't, so I picked it up. And the reason I hadn't is because I could never find it in my shade. It went viral, and all the shades sold out, and whenever I would check for it, I couldn't find it in my shade. And yesterday I happened to meander down the cosmetics aisle at Meijer, and they had one bottle left in my shade. So I snatched it up, and I paid $15.74 for it. I know it can retail as high as like $20, but at Meijer it was on sale, so I got it for $15. L'Oreal is one of those brands that does, their products are a little more expensive for drugstore, but not quite as high as like those brands that are drugstore brands at Ulta, like Juvia's Place or ColourPop. So it's a little less than that, but more than like Maybelline or e.l.f. or NYX. And I just gave myself one go around, and what I can see in my mirror is that it's given me light coverage. It's concealed my redness and discoloration, but you can still see my freckles through it, and I really like that, and I think it looks like a really pretty finish. So I don't think I'm gonna apply anymore. I do also have the, where'd I put it? The concealer, corrector, and eye cream all in one, and I'm going to go ahead and use this as my eyelid primer, because if I put an eyelid primer on and then I add this over it, it's not really going to get directly onto my skin. So I'm gonna just apply it as my primer. It is kind of slippery. It does have hyaluronic acid in it, and it has glycerin, and you really kind of need that glycerin for hydration. It's a really great ingredient that helps hydrate your skin. It kind of helps like hyaluronic acid and other hydrating ingredients kind of anchor into your skin, and without those ingredients like glycerin, it's just not really doing much. You know, you really need that. So yeah, I didn't use it very sparingly. I used a lot. It's supposed to conceal dark circles as well. I don't deal with dark circles, but I do get some shadows here. And yeah, it looks pretty good. I might apply a little more after I do my eyeshadow. So this is the palette I'm going to use today. It's the La Palette Nude Intense from L'Oreal, and it's one of the larger palettes. It's a lot of mattes and just 2 shimmers. So they're all matte shades, and they're all nude kind of shades and mauve-y shades, and I really like the mauve-y shades a lot. I like the nude shades as well, and this one is a shimmer and this one is a shimmer, but all the rest are mattes. And so I am going to do one of the looks on the back of the palette, and I'm going to do the mauve ombre look right here. It's my favorite look from this palette, and it's using, surprisingly enough for me, the darkest shades in the palette down here. And I usually do a very natural look, but I love the way this look always comes out. So I'm gonna do this, and I think it's a great look for anyone. I think these colors are very brightening, lavender shades and amethyst shades. They're very brightening for everyone. And I'm going to do like that mauve-y look, and I'm going to do a look for beginners, just applying my eyeshadow the way that I would teach someone to apply eyeshadow. I'm not a makeup artist. I'm just a lady who likes to play with makeup, but teaching my daughters how to do makeup, you know, this is kind of like the approach I would take whenever they were little, because they are grown women now. The first shade right here is like a very, very soft blush, and I'm just going to apply that all over my mobile lid, like so, and that's really pretty. My skin naturally has kind of rosy tones in it, so I always feel like a little bit of a rosy shade looks really nice for me. And some people might not like that, but it also has more of a beigey, like it has the rosier matte and then a beigier matte. So there's 2 for whichever color you would like on your skin tone. Now I'm gonna go in with this shade right here, another matte, and I have like a crease brush from Real Techniques, and I am just going to apply this in my crease, and I'm just going to finish up this eye and then do the other eye off camera. So it's Tuesday today, and my son, who turned 18 last Friday, is going down to Chicago to United Center to see the Roger Waters concert. If you're from my generation, you probably remember Pink Floyd. We don't need no, you know that, The Wall. Roger Waters was in the band, and my son really enjoys playing the guitar. He plays the guitar and the bass guitar, and he spent the money himself. He earned the money to buy himself tickets, and he's going with a friend. And I'm not going to lie, I'm very nervous about it because, you know, it's his first time kind of heading down to like such a big event in the city of Chicago. And I've said before, and if you're from the area, you know, Chicago can be like a war zone. You have to be so careful. There's a lot of gang violence. I mean, it's a beautiful city. It's changed so much since I was a teenager. When I was a teenager, I used to go down to the city all the time. Oh, I forgot to tell you, I used this shade in the crease and outer corner. So that's all I did, is I kind of built up that amethyst shade. And you know what, guys, if you didn't catch exactly what I did, just follow the ombre mauve mauve ombre directions on the palette. It's exactly what I'm doing. Okay, now whatever's left on the brush, I kind of picked up some more of the rosy tone, and I'm gonna just apply that here to brighten up my lid and run it along my lower lash line. So whenever I was a teenager and would go down to the city, we would go down to like Grant Park for the Taste of Chicago. You know, there's Buckingham Fountain in Grant Park, and just so many beautiful things to see in the city. And then we would all walk along the Magnificent Mile and dream of one day being able to shop in those stores. It was just such a fun thing to do, and it's not really like that anymore. My daughter does live in the city, in the Humboldt Park area, and she wants to move. She's actually thinking about moving out of state. She's an ecology and environmental sciences major. I started doing the other eye, so I'm just gonna quickly do that. And she always wanted to live in the city, and now she can't wait to get out of the city. It's just not an easy place to live. So in terms of like parking and shopping and making your way around, and you know, she doesn't really enjoy it anymore. But she's planning on moving south, and I'm really excited for her because then I'll have a place to go so I can visit her, and I'm really excited about that. But anyways, so my son's going down to see the concert tonight, and you know, just getting down to the city in rush hour traffic. We live about an hour outside of the city, so he has to get down there before rush hour traffic, and the concert starts at 7. And you know, I just worry about him. He's just going with one other friend, and I worry about him kind of wandering around the city with his friend, you know, like a mom. Everybody worries about their kids, right? The next thing I'm going to do is knot in the directions for the ombre mauve, and I'm taking the shimmer, the soft pink right here. Look how pretty that is. And this palette is so good. It's such good quality. I think this palette is as good of quality as my Lancome eyeshadows. And Lancome and L'Oreal are like one and the same, so that's no surprise. I'm gonna try to use this as an eyeliner and just run it along my lower lash line and do a reverse cat eye, but I'm gonna get my brush wet with a little bit of Fix Plus from MAC. Dip it in that really dark shade, number 10 on the end of the palette. I'm just gonna go in with Brow Stylist from L'Oreal, and I've had this on hand and I used to really like it. I haven't used it in a long time. It's got this teeny tiny little brush, and I think it has like little fibers in it to create kind of just a fluffier brow, and I'm just using it to fill in my brows, not to overdraw them or anything like that, just to make them look a little bit neater. Now I'm gonna go put on a nice thick coat of the Voluminous Primer on my lashes, and then I'm gonna go in with the Voluminous Mascara, and this is in the shade Burgundy. I think it's gonna look really pretty with the eyeshadow. I just picked this up. I used this once before years ago, and I really liked it. So I'm gonna go put this on, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I put on the mascara. I did a really generous coat of the primer, and then I did a nice generous coat of the voluminous, and I made sure that you just couldn't see any of the primer. So I had to put on quite a bit, and I just went over, like, but not really 2 coats, if you get my drift. Like, I just went over it to make sure I covered every bit of that kind of whiter primer. That's why I kind of like using that primer, because no lash is gonna go uncovered when you use a primer first. And I think it looks really pretty. However, it is a very monochromatic look, you know, with the amethyst and kind of mauve-y shadow. And now I've got the burgundy mascara. I'm afraid it might make me look like I have a little bit of pink eye. You'll have to let me know what you guys think. I think it's really pretty, and I've seen other women, Melissa 55, use this mascara, and she looks so beautiful with it. So I'm hoping that it has the same effect, but you'll have to let me know. Would it be better with black? Just gonna put a little bit more. I love a lot of mascara, and I love a lot of blush. I really like voluminous a lot because it doesn't ever clump. I forget about this mascara. It's such a good mascara, and I forget about it. It's probably one of the best drugstore mascaras ever. Now I'm going to use the Lumi bronzer from L'Oreal. It's called Lumi Bronze It, and it has sort of like that baked gelée look. Look how pretty that is. It has a pattern embossed in it. So pretty. And I don't know, I've never used it before, so let's see how it does. I'm just gonna go in with like a pointed, fluffy BK Beauty brush and swirl it around. And mine is in the shade medium. The light looked really light, even for me. And I'm glad that I got the medium because I think that this is perfect. Just to make me look alive. That's really pretty, really pretty. A very, very natural sun-kissed glow. So you know how fair I am, and this is medium. So if you're darker than me, definitely medium or one shade deeper. It is sort of cool toned, and I really like that. It's sort of a neutral bronzer. It's not really cool toned, but it's not super warm either. Look how pretty that is. I'm really pleased with this, really pretty. Probably one of the best drugstore bronzers I've used in a while. Now I'm gonna use the True Match blush. These are so good. I haven't used one of these in a long time, but when these first came out, like 7 years ago, maybe even longer, I had like all the shades and I used them all up too. And this is in the shade Tender Rose, and it has a nice mirror in here, and it has one of the kinds of brushes that come with these. I'm just gonna take that away. I never use these, and I don't really even need the mirror because I don't really carry my blush in my purse. I would use, instead of using this, I would use a powder, you know, instead of blush. And it's Tender Rose, which looks like a nice mauvey pink, and I'm just gonna apply this to the apples of my cheeks. And that's really pretty. A nice mauvey, cool toned pink. Now I'm just going to take a teensy bit more of the concealer and put it where I get my shadows right here. Conceal that darkness there. Add a little more light. Okay. And now I'm gonna set everything with the True Match pressed powder. I've used this before years ago too, and I really like it. Now this, I would keep this little puff and mirror and keep it in my purse, because this is really handy to have in your purse just to touch up any areas that need to be freshened up. And it's really finely milled, really pretty, not dusty at all. It actually reminds me a lot of the MAC Mineralized Skin Finish. And that's what that looks like. The next thing is the L'Oreal Glow Paradise Balm. This comes in 10 shades and has pomegranate, extract in it, and it's a balm for sure. It's really light and it just hydrates your lips. And on these summer days, it's really nice to have a very light coverage foundation and something light on your lips, because with the humidity, sometimes it can just feel so sweltering. The last thing you want are a lot of products all over your face and lips. So I'm just gonna apply a little bit of this, and I'm not even going to use a lip liner. Oh, that's so pretty. It's called Glow Paradise, and it really does have a nice glow. This is the finished look. Really light, natural, summertime makeup with an easy eye look that anybody can replicate. And I hope you enjoyed this. Let me know if you have any favorite L'Oreal products. I know the Age Perfect line is really good too, especially for us over 40 ladies. So thank you for spending some time with me. I hope you have a blessed and beautiful day. I'll see you next time.